All right, what's up, guys? So I just got finished up with my trading session for the day. As you can see, I ended up making around $3,900 in total P&L today. Now, this is on my personal account. This is using my 5-minute strategy. My 30-second strategy, I basically got stopped at break even, tiny loss, and then there was no other setups after that because of how fast price moved down. So after the 30-second strategy session, I went over to my personal account, started trading my 5-minute strategy. So anyways, like I said, I took 3 trades with this strategy. Let's go and dive into it. So I traded NQ, and let me just delete this. And the first thing I'm looking for is on this strategy is I'm looking for the opening range. Okay, so this is the 15-minute candle. I'm marking the highs and the lows of this first 15-minute candle. Now, once I have the opening range to work with, next I'll go into the 5-minute time frame. If you guys don't know, this strategy only works for long setups, okay? So what we can see here is basically what I'm looking for is I'm looking for white candles, okay? So these white candles or these green bars down here signify a market bottom. Now, basically what I'm looking for is confirmation where we close above the white candle. So as you can see, it wasn't until this candle right here where we close above our white candle, right? Or is actually this candle right here, we close just above it. Now, the reason why I did not enter a trade right here is for one, usually I like to see volume confirmation on the lows. As you can see, we didn't see any volume spikes using this volume spike indicator. I didn't see any volume spike on the lows. And I also don't want to risk, I would have had an entry of like 260. The lows are 73. So I would have had to risk almost 200 points. I don't want to risk 200 points personally, right? So once we got confirmation that we're getting above the white candle, we made the lows, right? We got the 5-minute setup. What I did from there is I went into the 1-minute time frame. So the 5-minute confirmation was right here. Once we got right here, I started looking for 1-minute setups, okay? So basically I'm looking for a 1-minute setup within the 5-minute setup. And you can see we didn't get that until around right here on this candle right here, okay? Now, this is the first trade I took. I entered around right here. And what we can see here is this was a loss, okay? So if I go and mark this, okay, I got in right here, okay? And what we can see is my target was basically up at this resistance area towards the highs, and we never got there. So this first trade was a loss, no big deal. I have to stop trading if I take 2 consecutive losses. This was obviously 1 loss, right? Okay, so as you can see, we just got barely stopped out, basically got, stop hunted or whatever you want to call it. And then we got another setup right here, which I end up taking on this candle close. I got long, right? Now, I'm also looking at the 15-minute chart during this, and we can see basically what I want to see is I want to see big 15-minute candles, right? What we saw was this big 15-minute candle here. This is kind of the range I was trading in, right, after this 15-minute candle close, right? Because that 15-minute candle made this high right here on the 1-minute time frame. And I was essentially seeing like, okay, we know that this 15-minute candle was a strong candle. As long as we hold, the retracement levels, right? If you guys are familiar with, Fibonacci, the 61.8, the 50% retracement. We can also see that this candle had old resistance right here. So I did mark a white line right there saying, as long as we hold this, I want to keep taking these 1-minute setups because I know if we hold this, we're eventually going to see a pop-up. Obviously, I don't know for sure, but that's my analysis. All right, so we go back to the 1-minute time frame. We can see this is that white line. We went just to that white line, which is why it made sense to get in here. Right? At the time, it was looking good. We retraced more than 50% of our 15-minute candle, right? Obviously, price didn't want to move yet. And as you can see, we dipped just below it. We held that white line. We got another white candle. I got long once again. Right here, we closed just above our white candle. Had my stop on the lows. And I had my take profit at around 474. Okay, so if I move myself, that is right here was my take profit. All right. And that was my winner. So we had 1 smaller loss and 1 big winner. This had almost a 2-to-1 risk reward ratio. And essentially how I got my target, for one, I wanted to see us break the highs, right? It made sense we'd continue, breaking the highs after a failed bearish move, right? And for 2, we also saw that this was our resistance. We had this massive sell-off right here, or aggressive sell-off, I should say. And this was kind of our resistance area, that 470, the top of that candle. So I figured that would be a good target to look for. So those were essentially my trades. After that, I called it the day there. I don't want to over trade, but you can see we can keep trading this, right? What do we see next, right? We already used this candle, right? Now we're going to look for another big 15-minute candle. What do we see? We got a nice, strong, bullish 15-minute candle. Okay, as long as we hold this and we trade back to our retracement levels, which is around right here, or you can even move it higher, right? This is probably the 61.8 right here. Just kind of eyeballing it, right? We can keep trading this because the trend is still intact on the bigger time frame. Okay, what do we see? Right, retracement down, another white candle right here. Okay, we saw a push above here. This would have been a nice trade once again, taking up to this resistance or taking it to the highs, which we're about to break right now. So I could have kept trading this, but obviously, trading is very stressful when you're in a trade. And I can only handle so much in a day. So anyways, that was it for me. 2 trades on NQ using my 5-minute strategy, but going into the 1-minute time frames to find better entries and not having to risk 200 points like I would have had to if I took the 5-minute setup. Okay. So anyways, guys, that was my trade for the day. Looking for those 1-minute setups within the 5-minute setups, as long as we hold our bullish 15-minute candles, and also looking at this opening range to kind of give you a better perspective on, where we're going to head. So anyways, guys, that was my trades for the day. That's how I ended up making the $3,900 in total P&L. Again, guys, not every trade is going to be a win. You can take a loss, and then your next winner can be a lot bigger than that loss, and you can still come out making good profit. My daily max loss on this account is 4,000, right? So if I take 2 losses in a row, I'll lose 4,000. That'll be my daily max loss. And as you can see, I took 1 loss and I took 1 win, and I still made just as much as my daily max loss, which would have been 2 losses in a row. So yeah, with this strategy, even if you have a 50% win rate, it just depends where the target is. Sometimes the target will be shorter. Sometimes it makes sense to have a farther target, right? Just looking at the market structure and stuff like that. So anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. If you guys want to join our free Discord community, inside of here, I post my trading plans every single day for NQ and ES along with my levels. If you guys want to join this community, like I said, it's completely free to join. We'd love to have you inside. All you have to do is go over to the first link in the description below this video. We'd love to have you inside. With that being said, guys, as always, hope you had a good trading day yourself, and I'll see you tomorrow morning.